Now we have the nails in the forms. We've got a taped area that we're going to use for gluing the laminations, and then we're going to put the laminations on here, and I'm going to demonstrate now. I'm going to hand off the camera. Okay. So we start out with 4 pieces. Make sure they all look good, like none of them are narrow. These are 1.5 millimeter thick by 6 millimeter wide pieces. These happen to be 1.2 meters long, but you can use, whatever length you have. I think you have 1 meter length there in France. We took some Titebond 3 glue. Let me show you that. So this kind of glue, and we thinned it out maybe 1/4 or 1/3 water to the glue just to make it a little bit thinner, and mixed it up. And this is the Titebond glue. Oh, I want it to be horizontal, sorry.
Okay.
What we're going to do is we're going to basically put a little bit of glue all the way along this strip. We only have to put it on one side, and actually, I'm remembering how we do this now. We can gang it up, and we can get multiple pieces. The last side doesn't need to have any because, let's see. No, I guess. Let's see.
Yes, it needs.
There's going to be 3 interfaces that have glue, so for each 4 pieces, we only need 3 of them to have glue on it. So we're going to brush the glue on here, like this. I should have started it over here more. An important thing is when you put the pieces up next to each other and make a butt joint as you're going around, you don't want all of the 4 pieces in the lamination to have that butt joint where one piece is going up next to the other piece. You don't want that to all happen in the same place. So to make sure that doesn't happen, we're going to start this by starting one piece a little bit long, then moving the next piece. And remember, I'm making sure the side that doesn't have glue is up against the side that does have glue. We're going to stagger it by 3 or 4 centimeters. Okay? And then we'll do another piece like this. Make sure that's the side that has glue. And then I'm going to stagger it back the other direction. This one doesn't have any glue because, yeah, that's right. Okay, and now you can see we've got our 4 pieces of the lamination are done already. What we do is we take a few finishing nails, not as many as we have on the inside of the form, and we just put them on the outside so that and you don't have to put them in very, very hard, so that it captures it and doesn't let it spring out like it wants to. Okay? And it's just sort of, you kind of see how it's laying across the existing nails and decide how many you need to put in place to be in the right place. But you don't have to put that many to actually hold the curve. As you get around to the curvy parts, you're going to have to put more of the nails. And if you see a place where, I'm now remembering how we did this, if we see a place where there's a gap, you can put another nail to make sure that it holds it up against that gap. We can also use some clips if we need to clip it together to make sure that it's held tight. Okay, now look up. We need to follow this nail, so this has a bit of a flat profile. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a nail right up against this one here, so that this is following about where it's supposed to go. Didn't put that one in far enough. Oh, this whole thing was supposed to get moved back over. That's going to make the nailing firmer. You have to go far enough that they're not gonna just fall right back out. Okay, now we can take some more pieces.
Three or four. Sorry, 4, not 3.
This one's too narrow. This one is too narrow. Put those aside, the ones we don't. I'm just looking through the whole length to make sure they look good. Okay, these 3 look good. And then give me a 4th one that looks okay.
I guess this looks okay.
Yeah, that looks good. Okay. And then we just do the same thing. I used way too much glue. I didn't realize how much. It's not going to take very long to finish these.
Yeah, now we'll do it.
All right. Here, do you want to do this end?
Yeah. Deepak, first clean it up.
Make sure you get plenty of glue on here. A little bit more on the top of this. You notice that I have that Mylar just to make sure we get some going in the cracks and places where it's not quite touching. The Mylar tape will prevent this from sticking. Okay, is this all wet? We need to make sure this is wet. Excuse me. Don't want to get you. Okay, I think that's good. All right, so now we take these 3 pieces and we just work our way around the same way as before.
First put 3, then the other one at the
The
last.
4th one is dry on both sides because it attaches. So now we just make sure that we put a little bit of glue in the joint here. These actually happen to come out exactly at the same length, and I don't want that to happen because of the curve, the change of the curve. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this one a little bit short so it doesn't join at the exact same place as the other one. Okay, and then I'm going to just line this up like that. This is going outside. Okay, you can cut this back here somewhere. Here, you can still use this piece. Leave it that side up. I want to put all the pieces before they put the outside nail on. Okay, so the next one goes up to here and goes like that. You just sort of hold it with both of your hands so it doesn't move much while I'm doing it. Okay, the next one goes up to here. Okay, we need to make sure that these get pushed all the way, come in close here. These get pushed all the way up so that the butt joint is really butted right up next to each other. Okay, like that. Okay, and then the last one is that one that doesn't have glue on it.
This one?
Yes?
Yeah.
I'm going to have a little extra glue here. I'm just going to make sure the end of that has some glue on it.
Better.
There we go. Okay. And then let's look at all these. These all look pretty good. They're butted up nice to each other. Now I want a nail right on the other side of the butt joint. Okay. And then another nail right here. Again, to make sure that this joint is nice and tight. Now you can put a little bit more glue on there. And then just the same as before, you just every few nails, wherever it looks like having another nail in place will keep it tight all the way around the form, you just put another nail. Okay, and I think I need one here too. Now I'll put one at the very end. Okay. All right, and we can just cut off. And these pieces are still usable. That was pretty straightforward. Okay, now these other parts are going to be tricky. We don't have to do it on the ribs and the formers for the fuselage. It's only because we're doing this for the nose fairing. We're going to have to figure out how to close a complete loop. So we'll figure that out later, but we don't need that for this video. Okay. Go ahead and hit stop on the video. Did it record?